welcome back to another episode of Barbecue.
And Son.
Today we have a special guest.
G'day. Today we have a special guest. My brother-in-law Tibor.
Hi.
Tibor claims Hungarian extraction, and today we're going to step away from the actual barbecue and we're going to do some fire cooking. So Tibor, tell us what we're going to make today.
We're going to do a what they call a paprikash dish, which is basically a stew, or some people might know it as a goulash. They call it different things in Hungary depending on where you come from. And it's a dish that was cooked by the cowboys of Hungary. At the end of the day, they would use their tripod on their kettle to make a stew that would cook for a couple of hours while they were tending the animals and their horses, and then they would all sit down to eat. So the beauty of it is that like any stew, all the ingredients go in a big pot, and you sit back with a beverage, watch the fire burn down, and your meal gets cooked with a nice smoky flavour. So that's what we'll be doing today.
Sounds fantastic. I can't wait to get started.
Neither can I.
This is my sister. How long have you been making paprikash for?
Now for about 10 years.
Really? Who taught you?
My sister-in-law taught me how to make paprikash.
Oh, okay, dokie, all right. And what are the ingredients? What are we doing now?
So chunks of steak, paprika, of course, and then we put in some tomatoes, some capsicum, some onion, some red wine, a bit of oil, and cook it up on the fire.
Oh, fantastic. And what sort of cut do you like to use the most?
Tibor likes something that's got a bit of fat in it, so this one here is a rib fillet, but you can basically make it with a gravy steak or a chuck steak, just depends how long you're going to cook it for.
Oh, fantastic. Alrighty, well, let's start getting cutting. Okay, so what have we done so far?
We've just built our fires up a little bit, not too much. I've got two fires going because we're going to brown the meat first before we put it in the kettle. I like to just brown it off a bit, otherwise it releases a lot of moisture and it becomes a little bit too stewy for me. So for the paprika and the paprikash to work nicely, I like to brown the meat a little bit. So we've got two fires going. One's going to have the kettle over the top where we'll do the paprikash, and the other one I'm just going to use a good old Aussie camp oven there, straight on the coals, get it nice and hot and brown the meat, and then go straight into our kettle there.
Okay, so in goes the onions.
So, do hot first.
Okay, so
Smell that.
look at that. So now we add spoonfuls of legitimate paprika acquired from Hungary itself, I believe.
Yeah.
There we go.
So we're doing 2.5 kilos of meat, so I'm going to do about 4 heaped tablespoons. This one is Iros, which is strong, which means hot. So we're just going to do one of them.
You got me? Look at that.
And this is the sweet, what they call a sweet. So sweet is just not so hot.
I'm not exactly sure what sort of paprika you'd buy off the shelf in Australia to mirror this. I suppose you just go Master Foods or something and then go for the hot paprika.
Yeah.
the sweet paprika. I'm not too sure. Yeah.
So you can see all that's still sizzling hot, but there's nothing burning in there.
Smell that. That's enough. You don't want to add too much or you overload the pot and too much moisture forms. Although that is so hot, it's crazy.
Jiggle that around. My policy is don't trim any fat off it whatsoever. Whatever you get, just go all in. Chuck steak.
Now's when we chuck in all the rest of the ingredients. So first of all, a couple of cans of...
Yeah, we've just got our diced tomatoes, so you can just dice up your own tomatoes. I think we've done some tomatoes too, haven't we? Yeah, so we've got tomatoes as well, but we always, for a big dish, we put in a couple of tins of diced tomatoes. Now the purists will say that's not part of the Hungarian dish, but we put in salsa, which is basically you know, peppers and onion, capsicum, jalapeno. So it's just really more of the same, giving it some more spice. I mean, you can do that all with pure ingredients, but we find that's a pretty easy way to get it done pretty quickly. And of course, we use a mild. The kids are eating tonight, but if you want to go hot, you can go hot.
Well, I suppose with that paprika, it's as hot as you want it to be, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. So that's that, and that. And we also do tomatoes and capsicum. I'll put these in now just for simplicity. Sometimes I like to wait till the dish is a bit closer to eating so that the capsicum stays in nice big chunks, but Rachie does it the other way, and we'll just do it that way today. So put those in, and we've got some nice Australian red wine here.
What is it?
It's a Shiraz from Canberra, so we'll see.
I don't know, mate. Sounds south of the border.
Yeah.
What's that, about half a bottle?
Well, if that was full, yeah, it's probably about half.
Half to a third. Honestly, let's just say red wine to taste.
Yeah, red wine to taste. Now that's had a bit of heat in it when I first started, but when I stir all this through, all those cold ingredients are going to suck the heat out of it, and we're not going to restoke the fire. We're just going to let it do what it's doing there, and that's all going to reduce down and simmer down. And if we think it's getting a little bit too thick, we'll add some water, but a lot of the moisture will come out of the capsicum and the tomato and all that, and actually create the stewing.
Yeah, because I've noticed that you do yours uncovered, and I would imagine it would reduce, but I've had this meal a couple of times before, and there always seems to be enough moisture in there.
Yeah. So you just add moisture to suit. You can see that's really sizzling and boiling on one edge of the pot there, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to reduce that fire a little bit, not by much. Just drop that away because there's plenty of heat there, there's no doubt about that. You don't really need the flame. I'm just going to reduce that a little bit so that that's just going to simmer away there.
And so how long do we keep it cooking for now?
Look, it gets better the longer you leave it. So at least an hour.
At least an hour.
You know, if you can get in here at 3 o'clock and start cooking, and it's going to sit on there for 2 or 2.5 hours, really on that really slow simmer, you're really going to have a special dish, and it gets better day after day. You know, you fill tonight, and tomorrow for lunch it's going to be even better.
Way. Fantastic. So at least an hour. Is there a maximum you can keep it on the heat for?
well, normally you get too hungry and you just want to take off and eat. So I don't think we've ever gone past 2 or 3 hours.
Alrighty then. Well, I think it's beer o'clock. Let's go have one.
Yep, sounds good.
Want me to get your refill, mate?
Yeah, no.
And what do we say?
In Hungary we say egészségedre.
Egészségedre.
Hi, welcome back. So the paprikash is nearly done, and now we need to prepare some traditional pasta for the paprikash recipe. So we're making gnocchi. So we're making traditional gnocchi from Hungary, and we're gonna double it because every time we make it, it just isn't enough. So we're gonna have 4 eggs. 2 pinches of salt.
Excellent. Excellent, well done. Okay, so we've got our 4 eggs. And then what I do is I put a couple of tablespoons of oil in. So I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of oil. Doesn't have to be precise. Excellent. All right, and then I would do 1.5 cups of water. And it's a half, yeah, so 1.5. And a couple of spots of salt.
There we are.
Alright, now the flour. So if you basically we'll just keep adding the flour till it's a nice consistency. So if you beat the water and the eggs together. Okay. Yep. I think it's going to take all of that one and maybe a little bit more of another one. Pot ready. How's that looking, do you think? Oh yeah, actually that's looking perfect, I think.
Now that the water's boiled, we're going to put the gnocchi mixture into here. But first, what do we use this for?
Oh, well, William, this is a gnocchi maker. Now, this is a Tupperware product that was given to me as a gift from my husband's cousin when we were in Hungary. So this is a traditional gnocchi maker. We put the batter in here and we use the spatula to drip it in. If you don't have something like this, you can just use like a cheese grater or something similar. So we'll show you how it works. All right, so it sits on top of the boiling pot like that. And we just spoon some of our mixture in. And then we use our spatula to drop it into the pot to make our gnocchi.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's awesome.
How many batches do you put through before you skip it out, right?
I do one at a time.
You just do one at a time.
Yeah, I do. Now what I do is I wait for the pasta to rise. So just give it a bit of a stir to make sure it's not sticking together down there. And I wait for it to rise to the top. Just give it a little bit more time because some of those little fellas aren't rising.
That's a lot out of just one.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
But William, this is a very nice batch of gnocchi. You can tell that it's a beautiful batch because see how it's nice and long?
Oh, yeah.
It means we've made it
Otherwise it would be
just right.
really thick.
Sometimes they can be a little bit gloopy.
Oh, okay.
So that's why we've got to get the consistency right when we actually make our batter. So we've done a perfect job there.
This. Good work.
Well done, Will.
Look at that. Really well done. And then lift it and remember scrape off the back of the plate like you saw Alvacia do it.
That's a two-handed lift, isn't it? So that's a 2.5 kilo beef paprikash, done Razesh style over the fire.
All right. Well, I'm
And,
gonna as barbecue. I'm gonna take my first turn. So how about we dish up there, Tim?
Yep. So we've got Rachel's special gnocchi here, which he's done up for us, and what you need with a nice big paprikash is a nice big spoon, obviously. So we have one at hand here. And we haven't stirred this. This has been stirred once since we initially set it, just to make sure it wasn't burning, and nothing at all after that, except just sitting there and simmering away. So it looks fantastic. Matt, do you want some gnocchi in the bowl there beforehand? Notice that red colour. That's all paprikash and beef and tomato and capsicum and. I'm a little bit envious that you're getting a first bite, I must say.
Well, mate, come on. Oh, look at this.
So that's a
absolutely brilliant. And
that's a
then
good bowl of paprikash.
we add some sour cream.
Well, to your taste, your sour cream will.
You always add some sour cream.
A little bit of sour cream, and we always have some European style gherkins as well. A favourite, Polski or Balkies. Anything that's been done in that traditional manner of cucumbers pickled is fantastic accompaniment to a really good paprikash.
I've eaten this meal a dozen times and it has never disappointed. And tonight is one of the best.
Man, I can't wait. Go on, son.
I'm telling you.
You can have yours next.
All right, I
Mate,
will.
make yourself a plate. Let's have a crack.
Nice gnocchi, Rachie.
Well, thank you, T-Bob, for making this fantastic meal.
You're welcome.
Sun and Barbecue, thank you. And
It was a pleasure.
I hope everyone's learned something today. Have a good one.
Really a capture of humanity.